Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jagrit, and this channel is all about making blood donation normal, accessible, and understood by every single Nepali. We are on video 10 today. Today, we are answering a question I get asked surprisingly often. What actually happens to my blood after I donate it? Where does it go? How is it used? Who receives it? This is a fascinating topic that very few donors know about, and understanding it makes the act of donating feel even more meaningful. Let's get into it. From donation camp to blood bank. The journey of your donated blood begins the moment the collection bag is sealed and removed from your arm at the donation camp. The sealed bag is immediately labeled with a unique identification number and stored in a temperature controlled container. Maintaining the correct temperature from the moment of the collection is critical. Blood that is not properly stored begins to degrade quickly and cannot be used safely. This is why blood bank logistics require careful handling at every stage. The labeled bags are transported to the blood bank, either the National Blood Center in Daegu, a hospital blood bank, or another licensed facility, typically within a few hours of collection. Upon arrival, each unit of blood is logged into the blood bank's inventory system and begins a series of critical laboratory tests. These tests screen for infections, disease, including HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and malaria. Every single unit of donated blood is tested, no exceptions. Every unit that tests positive for any of these conditions is safely discarded and never used for transfusion. The rigorous screening process is what makes the blood supply safe for patients. How blood is separated into components. Here is something most donors don't know. When you donate whole blood, it is almost never transfused directly to a patient as a complete unit. Instead, it is separated into its individual components, each of which it is used to treat different patients with different needs. This separation process is called blood component therapy, and it is one of the most important advances in modern transfusion medicine. It means that one donation from one person can be used to treat up to 3 completely different patients. Red blood cells are separated from the whole blood and are used to treat patients with anemia, those who lost significant blood during surgery or accidents, and patients with thalassemia who require regular transfusions. Red blood cells can be stored for up to 40 days under refrigeration. Platelets are tiny cell fragments that help blood clot. They are separated from the whole blood and used to treat cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy, whose platelets counts are severely reduced by treatment, as well as patients with clotting disorders and severe trauma victims. Platelets are the most time-sensitive component of donated blood, with a shelf life of only 5 to 7 days. This is why platelet shortages are particularly acute and why regular, frequent donation is so critical. Plasma is the liquid component of blood containing proteins, clotting factors, and antibodies. It is used to treat burn victims, patients with liver disease, those experiencing massive blood loss, and patients with specific blood clotting. Plasma can be frozen and be stored up to 1 year, making it one of the most versatile and storable blood components. Understanding this separation process makes the impact of donation extraordinarily concrete. When you give 1 unit of blood, you are not just helping one patient, you're potentially providing red blood cells to a victim, platelets to a cancer patient, and plasma to a burn survivor, all at the same time. Who receives your blood in Nepal? Let's talk specifically about who is receiving donated blood in Nepali hospitals on a daily basis. Mothers experiencing postpartum hemorrhage, severe bleeding after childbirth are among the most frequent recipients of emergency blood transfusions in Nepal. Maternal hemorrhage remains one of the leading causes of maternal in the country, and immediate access to blood is the difference between survival and tragedy. Road accident victims require urgent transfusions regularly across Nepal's hospital networks. Trauma patients often need multiple units of blood within the first hours of treatment and cannot wait for blood to be sourced. It must already be available in the blood bank when they arrive. Surgical patients across all specialties, cardiac surgery, orthopedic surgery, abdominal surgery, frequently require blood transfusions during and after procedures. Elective surgeries are sometimes postponed in Nepal specifically because adequate blood supply cannot be guaranteed, which is a direct consequence of insufficient voluntary donation. Cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy depend on regular platelet and red blood cell transfusions throughout their treatment. For many of these patients, access to blood is not a one-time emergency, it is an ongoing scheduled necessity that requires for months and years. And children with thalassemia, as I covered in the earlier video, require transfusions every 2 to 3 weeks for their entire lives. Their need is quiet and consistent rather than dramatic and urgent, but it is not less critical. The shelf life challenge. One of the most important and least understood aspects of blood supply management is shelf life. Blood is not like a medication that can be manufactured and stockpiled indefinitely. It has a limited lifespan after collection, and once it expires, it must be discarded. Red blood cells can last up to 42 days, platelets can only last 5 to 7 days. Plasma lasts up to 1 year when frozen. This means blood banks must maintain a constant, ongoing flow of fresh blood donations rather than collecting large amounts periodically. A blood drive that happens once a year is helpful but insufficient. What blood banks generally need is a steady stream of regular voluntary donors throughout the year. This is why precisely building a community of consistent, repeat donors, which is exactly what Red Aid Foundation aims to do, matters so much more than occasional large-scale drives. So now you know. Your donated blood is tested, separated into components, and distributed to patients across multiple wards and specialties. A mother in a maternity ward, a child in an oncology unit, and a trauma patient in the emergency department could all benefit from a single donation made at a camp in your neighborhood. This is the reality of what happens after you roll up your sleeve and give 1 hour of your time. It is not abstract. It is not symbolic. It is a direct, specific, and life-saving. If this video gave you a new appreciation for what blood donation actually means, please share it with someone today. Subscribe because in our next video, we are covering blood donation myths specific to Nepali culture and religion. Beliefs that many people stop from donating, and yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.